Yan. So, again, good evening na, or good afternoon, A72. So, yung topic natin, actually, it is part of Module 2. So, because of the time, no, na ilang days time wala, so, sa coverage niya, so, kinover ko siya sa Module 3. Okay? So, OSD, Optional Standard Deductions. So, if you remember, yung pro forma ng net income, ano ba yun, di ba? Sales minus cost of sales is your gross income. And then, less allowable deductions. Okay? So, inuna ko muna to kasi yung allowable deductions, yun yung itemized deductions, no? So, yung portion na yun, yung allowable deductions, ito yung kapalit. Okay? Ito yung kapalit ng allowable deductions. Kasi yung allowable deductions, these are itemized deductions. So, which means may specific account, may specific expenses. Just like in your accounting, di ba? Yung ating mga expenses, kinakategorize natin siya, mga direct costs, marketing expenses, administrative expenses, di ba? Distribution expenses, di ba? Finance expenses, no? So those are some of the itemized deductions that kumaga may grouping sila ng expenses. So ito para sa marketing, di ba? Mga travel, transportation, gasoline. So mga admin expenses naman, ito yung mga salaries, di ba? Rental. Okay? So those are itemized deductions. So ano tong optional standard deduction? So dito, when we say optional, no? Option. Okay? In lieu of the itemized deductions, kapalit nung mga iniisa-isa nating itemized deductions. So kasi dumaga sa itemized deductions, maraming requirements no? Ano yung mga requirements na yon para mo ma-claim yung mga itemized deductions? Number 1, the expenses should be legit, ordinary, actual, and necessary. So, yun yung mga requirements para dun sa mga allowable itemized deductions. But when it comes to optional standard deductions, hindi present yung condition na yun, no? Hindi present yung sinasabi natin, legit, ordinary, actual, and necessary. Okay? So, OSD, no? The allowable deductions is just an estimate or assumptions, no? As a percentage of your gross sales or receipts, sesegue ako sa individual dito when it comes to individual taxpayers and gross income for the corporation. So, ibig sabihin, this OSD is present, no? Or available to individual and corporation. However, when it comes to the tax base or the basis of OSD, magkaiba sila. Okay, ulitin ko. For the OSD, para ma-claim or option for the individual, the basis will be the gross sales or receipts. No? So net of allowances. And this, whereas in corporation, gross income. So, ano yung sa gross income, ma'am? So, kung ano yung basis natin din, the same tax base, when it comes to MCIT, it is also the same tax base, no? Or in taxable income, no? When it comes to OSD for the corporation. Okay? So, who can OSD? Okay? So, ito nga ay proxy. So, hindi to, option lang to. By default, itemized pa rin tayo. Okay? So, when it comes to OSD, dapat pinili mo talaga to or option mo to, no? So, an itemized option for the itemized deductions or proxy, di ba? So, as a rule, all taxpayers who are subject to tax on taxable income can claim deduction except for the following. Okay? So, NRA, alam naman natin, no? For those that are resident alien not engaged in trade or business, ang tax base nila is the gross income. Okay? So, therefore, di ba, ang OSD ng individual based sa sales. Sa NRA, ang taxation niyan is based on the gross income. So, therefore, this option is not available to them. And then, taxpayers mandated to use itemized deductions. So yung may mga certain taxpayers that are required, no? Lalo na yung mga exempt corporations or exempt entities, okay? So they are required na ang gamitin ay itemized deductions. Okay, so bakit ma'am? Exempt naman sila. Kaya nga, exempt na nga lang sila, no? So you need to break down, no, yung kumbaga lahat ng mga expenses, no, lalo na sa mga required or mandatory na maggamamit ng itemized deductions. Kailan pinipili, ma'am? Okay? So kumbaga itong optional standard deduction, hindi siya by default, no, na paano ba to? Kung advantage yung OSD, mag-OSD ka. Or next quarter, advantage sa'yo ang itemized deduction because mas marami kang expenses nitong quarter, mag-itemize ka. So, hindi. No? So, the OSD, okay, is applicable within the taxable year. Okay? So, sa optional deduction, let's say, sige, so optional. So, it is the option of the taxpayer. As long as hindi ka mandated to use the itemize, ha? In lieu of the item deductions, irrevocable for the taxable year. Okay? 40% flat rate. However, do sa 40% flat rate, when it comes to individual, 40% of their sales is equivalent to the allowable deductions. Whereas kapag ikaw ang corporation, the basis of 40% is the gross income in lieu of your itemized deductions. Ito ang pinakamaganda, di ba? Sa mga tamad yung mag-keep, no, ng mga resibo or mag-record ng expenses. Although kailangan mo pa rin naman talaga talaga ng actual receipt, di ba? Kasi naman sa actual receipt, di ba? So it will be your basis in your financial statement, di ba? In your financial statement, yung deductions mo, yung actual deductions mo, yun yung expenses mo for financial purposes. Etong 40%, no, just the basis in the computation or yung kumaga di maging basis natin ng allowable deductions to arrive at your net taxable income. Okay? So lagi sasabi that your net taxable income is not synonymous to your financial income. Okay? In your financial income, yung based on historical cost, di ba, yung may actual transaction na nangyari, yun yung reported sa financial income. But when it comes to computation ng tax, medyo may iba. Okay? So kaya sa presentation, so for those na merong financial statement then they're using the OSD, so yung allowable deduction na with the expenses ng FS. Okay? Ito nga kasi, no substantiation requirement. So, kumbaga medyo iwas audit din, no? Kasi, kumbaga, yung 40%, yun na yun, no? Times your sales or your income. So, ano yung sinasabing substantiation, di ba? Yung requirement kasi sa itemized deduction, legit, ordinary, tapos may actual expenses. So, actual receipt, whether paid or not yet paid, di ba? So, yun yung requirements. Dito sa OSD, hindi mo na kailangan ipunin yung mga resibo mo or i-record mo. Not necessarily i-record na naka-voucher, di ba? So, financial sa accounting, naka-voucher or meron mga proper recordings. Pero meron ka pa rin namang books of accounts dito, ha? So, kailangan pa rin. So, ito lang naman, in case of audit, no? Hindi nila hihingiin, if you are under OSD, hindi nila kailangan yung mga actual receipts mo. Yung actual expenses mo dito. Okay? And then, it is only available to those taxpayers in business profession related. So, therefore, it is not available to purely compensation income earner in case of individual taxpayer. Okay? So, yun na. Mamaya may computation tayo doon. Medyo madali lang naman to OSD, ha? Dami nyo, ha? Pag exam, lumalabas kayo, no? Pag ordinary discussion, nalulusaw kayo, di ba? Okay, so kaya gano'n ang impact, no? Ay, hindi ko masinasabi, no? Hindi ko kasi talaga tinandaan yung scores ninyo. But siyempre, A72, medyo, ano naman, tawag dito, when it comes to your score sa midterm exam, pwede na, no? Sasabi ko, pwede na, no? Pero wag makampante. Pero sinabi ko pwede na, kahit pwede nang pumasa, I mean, medyo malaki na yung pondo, no? Unless talagang magloloko ka sa final exam, no? So, yun. So, medyo ano na, makakahinga ng konti, pero wag pa kampante. Okay? And then itemized deductions. Okay? So, ito yung mga naka-segregate, no? Naka-itemize yung accounts kung siya ay rent, salaries, depreciation, di ba? O transportation expenses, interest expenses, and then you compute for the limits, di ba? Representation. So later dun sa itemized, meron tayo dun yung mga other of itemized deductions that are subject to limitations. Okay? Pero sabi ko generally, di ba? Masabi mo dyan sa ano, generally, okay. Pero meron nga certain items of income na yan yung actual, but then yung claimable or yung allowable is hanggang gantong amount lang. Okay, when it comes to itemized deductions. Okay? On a per item of expenses, basis incurred or paid during the year. Substantiation requirement, in general, is required. Okay? So, yun halos opposite sila, no? Ng OSD. So, hindi ko na nadagdag dyan, no? O, both of them, no? You should be engaged in business. Ayan. Ma'am. Ayan. Sige, mamaya na pala yun. Ito na ba yun? Mamaya pala yun. So, yun. Kailan or ano ang nagiging basis niya? 40%, ma'am. So, when you say 40%, okay? 40% of your total sales, revenues, or receipts in case of individual taxpayers. So, for example, meron kang sales na 1 million. Okay, net sales or ano na, gross sales na 1 million. So, magkano ang magiging taxable income mo? 60% of 1 million. Okay? So, kumbaga, 1 million minus 400,000, ay 600,000 tama. 1 million times 1 million minus 400,000, 600,000 yung taxable income mo. Okay? So, yun yung sinasabi dito. Okay? So, whether you are under cash basis, accruals, no? So, 40% of your declared sales. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ano ang nawala sa eksena, ma'am? Ng OSD sa individual. Percent is in lieu of the cost of sales or direct expenses, di ba? Yung direct cost. So, for example, sa manufacturing company, ano yung direct cost nila? Yung cost of goods sold. Sa trading, ano yun? Yung cost of sales. Sa mga services, yun yung cost of services, di ba? Yun yung mga nawala. Okay? Yun yung mga kapalit. Tsaka yung mga itemized deductions. O, parang ganun na yan, ma'am. Kung may sales ako na 1 million times 40%, 400,000 na expenses ko, 6,000 yung taxable income ko. So, from that 600,000 income, no? So, yun ang basis mo to use the graduated income tax rate. Ayun, huwag nyo kalimutan yung tax table, ha? For the individual. Okay? So, kasi, hindi, kapag nag 40% ka, nag-OSD ka, hindi available din sa'yo yung 8%. So, remember yung 8% na taxation natin, na sales minus 250 times 8% is your tax due. Di ba? Hindi, kung ang pinili mo is 8%, hindi mo option to OSD. Hindi para sa'yo yung OSD. Okay? So, yun. So, ang nawala doon, yung direct cost, mga other expenses. So, when it comes to taxpayers, the 40% of their gross income. So, same thing that our basis for MCIT. I think. Okay. So, I just ano lang. So, yung gross income, kung ano, di ba, sa MCIT. Okay. So, ma'am, kumbaga, ma'am, pero as for the corporation, okay, may MCIT pa rin ba, ma'am, kapag ang option ay OSD? Yes. Okay? Kung ang pinili mo ay OSD, magko-compute pa rin tayo, no, ng higher between MCIT and RCIT. Okay, sa corporation. So, kumbaga, yun pa rin naman. So, magiging, may example yata dito mamaya. Magiging ano lang na, magko-compute ka pa rin ng MCIT at RCIT. No, MCIT if available na or applicable na sa company. Okay? Eh, yung 20% ma'am na lower RCIT available pa din? Yes. Regardless kung pinili niya ay itemized or OSD. Okay? Hindi mababago yun na siya ay subject sa CIT tsaka sa RCIT, either 20 or 25%. Siyempre, of course, except for non-resident foreign corporation. Okay? The OSD available for non-resident foreign corporation. Okay? So, ganyan. Hindi nawala yun. Hindi nawala yung pag-compute natin ng RCIT tsaka MCIT. Tayo ng tax base for the RCIT. Okay? Okay. Ano ma'am, paano namin malalaman na OSD kami? Ba hindi si BIR o si government ang mamimili para sa'yo? Ikaw, taxpayer, ikaw may option, no? Ikaw ang pipili. Okay? So, kailan dapat pinipili or magde-decide, no? You just have to, ano lang, kumbaga, ikaw taxpayer, lalo na pag individual, ha? So, for example, sa individual, hindi mo option ng 8%. Let's say, hindi ka hindi mo ng 8%. Kasi, let's say, vatable ka. Okay? Vatable tas individual. However, ma'am, yung nature, no? Yung nature ng business ko is not, hindi siya masyadong maraming expenses. Okay? So, for example, engage sa services. Okay? Hindi siya masyadong maraming expenses. Okay? So, let's say, mga VAT-registered na doctors. Okay? Ano ba naman masyadong expenses ng doktor? Wala masyado, di ba? Pero kung hindi niya kasi, hindi sa kanya option yung 8%. So, it's either itemized or OSD. So, kung OSD ka, ma'am, bilang doktor, hindi ako masyado nagkikip ng expenses, no? And then, hindi rin ganun kalaki, no? So, if let's say, si individual taxpayer, alam niya na hindi aabot ng 40% ng sales niya, mga expenses niya. Okay? Kumaga, yung nature kasi ng business, hindi siya ganun kalaki ang hindi bulk, no, yung mga expenses. Malaki talaga yung markup niya. Okay? Lalo na sa mga professionals, no? Yung mga professionals, hindi masyado, lalo na mga single practitioners, no? Lalo na kung wala ka namang tao, mga freelancer, di ba? So, wala siya masyadong expenses. Okay? So, eto na yon, di ba? Option mo na to na medyo, sa tingin ko, medyo bababa yung tax due ko if I use the OSD. Okay? Avail the OSD. Okay? So, ano pa dito? So, sabi ko nga kanina, hindi pwedeng porket ngayong second quarter, malaki yung expenses mo, babalik ka sa itemize. Okay? So, the election of OSD, okay, sinisignify niyan on the first quarter of the year. Okay? So, syempre sa individual, no? Magpa-file ka ng quarterly ITR. So, doon may signify if you were going to use an itemized deduction or OSD. Okay? So, once na pinili mo na yung OSD for the first quarter, hanggang dulo, hanggang first, second, third, at hanggang annual ITR, OSD ang gagamitin mo. It is irrevocable during the taxable year. Pero next year, so para kung medyo na anuhan mo, ay, ang laki expenses ko, ma'am, hindi lang 40%. Okay, so you may go back to the itemized deduction. Okay, kasi nga by default, di ba? By default. Halimbawa, ma'am, hindi ako nakapag-file ng first quarter. Nakalimutan ko. Okay? hindi ako kailan yung due date? May 15, no? July na ngayon. Yung pang second quarter lang ang ifa-file ko. So, hindi mo na option ang OSD. Okay? Kasi, the requirement should be on the first quarter. So, if during the first quarter, no? If you fail to signify na OSD ka, or if you fail to file your quarterly income tax return, sa susunod mo na file na quarter, by default, itemized deduction ka. Okay? So sabi nga dito, it must be consistently applied to all the succeeding quarterly returns. Okay? Mga benefits, ma'am. O ito. So an individual taxpayer who is entitled to and claimed OSD shall not be required to submit with his tax return such financial statements otherwise code. So in general, if ang napili mo ay OSD, required kang mag-file ng ITR, no? Ang sinasabi dito, pwede kang hindi mag-attach ng audited financial statements or financial statement itself, no? Kasi yung sa audited may requirement na sales, no? So kung ikaw ay OSD, so pwedeng lang ang isasubmit mo, no? Walang naka-attach na mga financial statement. Pero kung OSD ka, may option ka pa rin naman na kung gusto mo mag-file and mag-attach ng financial statements. Okay? Wala nang di naman siya pinagbabawalan na mag-attach ka ng FS if you are if you use the OSD. Okay? Kasi nga lang, ang laman nga syempre ng FS mo, based dun sa financial accounting, di ba? Mag-iiba lang dun sa tax due. Okay? So, yun lang naman. Pero, yun yung option, ha? Mas maraming, when it comes to, sino mas maraming nag-a-avail, ma'am? Yung individual or yung corporation? Based on my experience, no? Mas maraming nag-a-avail ng individual na OSD. Okay? O sa amin, siguro sa client namin, sa office namin, parang hindi pa kami nakapagpa-avail ng OSD for the corporation. Pero option siya sa corporation, ha? Hindi ko sinabing pang individual lang. But then, I think, I don't know kung nung wala pang 8%, no? Nung hindi pa uso yung 8%, 2018, no? Nung train law. Di ba, nung 2018, inintroduce yung 8%. Pero prior to that, SD na. Okay? I think nung ako mismo personally, no? Nung hindi pa available yung 8%, I used the 40% deductions. For my income tax return, I think year 16, 17. Isang taon ko lang naman isang taon. Year 2017, I think optional standard deduction ang ginamit ko. Ayan. So, yun yung, kumbaga, mas maraming mo kasi, yung nature ng business mo, alam ba, malaki ba? Alam mo, diba, kung ikaw yung negotiate, alam mo na magkano yung markup mo. Diba? So, syempre, mga typical na business owners, marami yan lagi, ang dami na expenses, no? Marami silang resibo. Marami silang pinagkakagas. So, wherein, pag ganun, so ina-advise namin, sige, use the itemized deduction. However, ang implication lang, if you use the itemized deduction, make sure that your claimable expenses are legit, ordinary, actual, and necessary. Okay? So, yun ang sasabi sa kanila, no? Pwede ma-claim yung mga expenses as long as valid and related, business-related talaga na expenses. Okay? So, ito example, ma'am. Ano example mo, ma'am, ng computation? Okay? So, let's say the entity is engaged in retail. Okay? It's under the accrual basis where in fact, the gross sales is 1 million with the cost of sales amount to 800,000. So, ito yung actual niya, no? Yun yung actual gross income, no? 1 million sales, 800,000 cost of. Okay? So let's say both of them, no? Isang individual tsaka isang corporation. Titingnan natin magkano yung magiging OSD, di ba? So pakita na lang natin dito. Sa individual, the basis will be the 1 million. Okay? So wala tayong binawas dito, no? Walang binawas na cost of goods sold sa individual. Kasi nga, the 40% OSD for the individual is in lieu of the itemized deduction plus the cost of sales. Whereas when the OSD, no, being applied in a corporation, gagamitin mo pa rin yung actual, no, na sales. Then you arrive at your gross income of 200,000 times 40%. Okay? So, titignan natin. Saan ka magiging favorable, no? So, let's say, so, yun nga. So, yung 400 for the individual, 80,000 for the corporation. Okay? So, pag in-apply na natin siya sa pag-compute ng taxable income, okay, for the individual, yung actual na sales niya na 1 million minus 400,000 na OSD. So, your net income is 600,000. Okay? So, ikaw individual, mapapaisip ka. Wait lang. Ang actual expenses ko is 800,000 tapos ang makiklaim ko lang is 600. Actually, yung 800 is the cost of sales pa ngayon, di ba? So, yun nga. So, 600,000 net income mo. Supposedly, dapat ano nga lang, 200,000 lang or lower than 200,000. For the corporation, so as a corporate option, no? Yung basis niya ng 40% is the gross income. So, makakapag-claim si corporation ng actual direct cost, which is 800,000 in our example. So, the basis for the OSD is the 200,000, no? 40% of the gross income. So, tingnan nyo kung paano nilagay yung 400 tsaka yung 80,000. Okay? Actually, yung OSD, pag nilagay natin yan, di ba? Sa pro forma natin ng net income, di ba? Sales minus cost of sales is your gross income. So, ito nga yung kapalit ng itemized deductions. Okay? Yung other expenses. Ganun mo siya ipupwesto or ipa-plot pro forma natin ng taxable net income. So, pagdating dyan, so your net income is 600, whereas for the corporation, 120,000. Okay? Hindi ko sinasabi na favorable lagi sa corporation, ha? So, nagkataon lang, computation natin, okay? Since, kasi nga, remember, the business, no? The taxpayers engage in trading. Oh. So, in reality naman talaga, no? Medyo bulk, no, or medyo malaki yung expenditures, di ba? Unless na naka-jackpot ka talaga yung markup sa business. Okay? So, malaki na yung mga 30-40% na. Okay? So, ganun yan. So, kung ikaw ang individual, di ba? At ganyan yung trend ng sales mo, tsaka ng expenses mo. Are you going to apply for the OSD or not? Di ba? Kasi ma'am, ang laki-laki ng expenses ko, di doon ako sa itemize. Okay? For example, if you're a corporation, so well, actually, hindi natin nakita no, kung ano yung magiging impact na sa corporation. Okay? So, maliit lang naman kasi yung kinalain na OSD. However, no, what if your actual operating expenses is, let's say, 60,000 or 100,000. So, yun yung makikita mong difference lang. Pero the impact, I think, hindi masyado. Unless medyo yung klase ng business mo is maraming expense, let's say, mga admin, mga marketing. So, yun. So, mapapaisip ka kung if you still continue or to avail the OSD or balik ka ng itemize. Okay? Kasi kung sa impact, medyo konti lang naman eh. No? Ang medyo talaga may malaking impact ng OSD is the individual. Okay? So, sa klase nito, di ba? Tatanggihan ni individual yung OSD. Babalik siya dun sa itemize. Okay? Siyempre, pagbabalik nun, next year na. For example, na-avail niya ngayong taon to. Hindi na ang laki-laki pala ng cost of sales niya. Okay? Ang napili na niya is OSD. So, for the entire year, for the entire calendar year for the individual, OSD siya. Okay? So, Then, tsaka niya ma-realize, ay, dapat itemized deduction pala ako. So, next year, pwede mo na i-avail yung itemized deduction. Okay? Kaya lang, di ba, you signify to use the OSD at the first quarter of your taxable year. Okay? Yun yung very, very strict doon sa compliance. Ayan. Another scenario. Okay? So, same information, same data, pinagkaiba lang, so apply or use natin or compute natin yung taxable income or yung OSD amount, okay, if the entity is an individual or a corporation. So, okay, let's say they have a sales of 3.4 million, cost of sales of 1.2. Oh, ito yung mga administrative expenses, no? Okay, ito, ay, dapat pala ang hirap pang gano'n dito, no? Ano ko na lang, ayan. Ay, yan ayaw. Hindi pa ako tapos, ayan. Yung kanina, di ba? Pakita ko lang. Okay? So, in that, bit highlighter, dapat pen lang. Ayan. So, ito yun. In lieu of your OSD, di ba? Ito yung dapat na i-claim mo expenses. Tsaka, ito. Okay? Actually, 800,000, di ba? So, tingnan natin. In the case of individual taxpayer, ayan. So, ma'am, may dinagdag kang 120. Ito yun. Individual taxpayer, okay, the basis will be the actual sales, and if the entity or the taxpayer has other taxable income from operations. Okay? Yan. Whereas for the corporation, lahat ng klase, no? Lahat ng klase ng income, isasama natin dito. Other, tsaka mga not operating. Then, tsaka ka pala mag-multiply ng 40%. Okay? So, kung if you're ma'am, pag sa MCIT, ito rin ang basis, yes. Yung 2.4. Okay? Paano magiging ano ma'am namin sa exam? O yun, compute for the OSD. If the taxpayer is individual or kung taxpayer ay si corporation. Okay? So, ganun. Paano may apply yung 40%? Para, 40% tama talaga siya, di ba? O yun. So, yung tax base lang ang maiiba. Okay? So, ano dyan? Pag tinuloy-tuloy mo pa siya, di ba? So, ituloy natin. Wala akong slide na, no? Balik ko nga. Ituloy-tuloy ko na. Hindi ko na isama sa slide. Okay? So, halimbawa, ma'am. Okay. So, paano ang ituloy-tuloy na natin. Paano ang net income? Di lagay na natin yung net income dito. Picture kasi hindi ko ma-edit, no? So, let's say, insert na ako ng table. Ay, hindi. Ito na lang. Okay. So, for the individual, ituloy na natin. Magiging tax due. Individual. Tama spelling ko sana, no? So, ano ang magiging tax due ng o ng taxable income, no? So, for the individual, okay? So, lahat yan, no? So, your 3,400,000 plus 120. Tsaka mo ipa-plus yung 80,000 other non-operating income minus yung 1,408. So, yun yung taxable income mo. 3,400 plus 120 plus 80 minus 1,408. So, your net income is, or taxable income is 292,000. Okay, check nga kung tama yung computation ko. Yan. So, yan. Ito tuloy. Ito na yung magiging taxable net income mo. Ito na yung kukumputa mo ng tax due using the graduated tax table. So, if you are operation, simple lang. Okay? Na tayo, gross income mo ay diba ay ano? Kano yun? 2.4. Minus 960. Yun lang naman yun eh. Net income pala. Pag ganyan siya kukumputin. So, the gross income, ito, di ba? Minus 960,000. 1,440,000. Ayan. Kung gumamit ka ng OSD. Okay? Paano kung nag-actual ka, ma'am? So, this one is if the company will use the OSD. Pero kung nag-itemize ka, sa kabila mag-itemize tayo, may iba ang senaryo natin. The corporation, 3-4, hindi, sa individual muna tayo. Sa individual, ganito maging computation niya. 3 million minus 1.2 plus 120 plus 80,000 minus itong 800,000. No? Ano yung 800,000? Yung total ng admin expense and selling expenses. Ayan. Tingnan natin kung magkano ang taxable income. 3,4 minus 1,2 plus 120 plus 80 minus 800. 1,600. Bakit ma'am nagiging sample mo, mas gugustuhin pa namin mag-itemize, no? Nagkataon lang. Then for the corporation, tingnan natin kung medyo pares lang, konti lang diferensya. So let's say, punta tayo ng gross income, pares lang naman yun kasi inabil naman yung minus 800,000. $1,600. Ayan. Lagi example, 1,600 din. No? O, pares pala. Oo nga. Oo nga. Pag IT mo, pares lang talaga din sila. Okay? So, yun. So, you decide, no? Kung saan mas magiging favorable. O, syempre, mas maliit na taxable income. Mas maliit ang babayaran mo. Ayan. So, that's how you decide or choose, no? Kung mas favorable ang OSD or itemized. Again, ano yan, based talaga sa nature, no? Ayan. At lalo kung ikaw ay hindi nagkikip talaga ng expenses and hindi mo naman kailangan ng financial statement, okay? Unless meron ka paggagamitan talaga, no? Yung iba talaga, na, lalo ng mga individual, no? Pero once na nagkaroon sila or nangailangan sila, yun, tsaka aligaga na maggagamit na o ano ng financial statement. Okay? Pero kung yung concern mo lang is just to file and pay your ITR, and then kung saan mas magiging convenient at mas magiging favorable sa'yo, no, if you use OSD, so yun ang gawin mo. Okay? Kaya lang, syempre, case-to-case basis. And kung favorable sa kanya, pwedeng sa'yo hindi. Okay? Kaya hindi natin masabi na yung advantage or disadvantage ng OSD. Okay? Pero if you look at the example natin for the corporation, okay? So, kasi may actual figures tayo ng actual expenses. So, yun. Kanya lang naman. Okay? For the OSD. Okay na. Hindi na kayo nadagdagan na. Mukhang may hinahabol kayong mga mga learning tasks or mga sa ibang subject. Okay? So, tatalon na ako doon sa sinasabi mo, ma'am, na itemized deductions. If you have no further questions sa OSD. No? Ma'am, sana sinama na natin. Hindi ko lang kung at least, no, para pag yun ang module 3, nakikita nyo naman medyo madali na. Okay? Yung OSD lang. Okay? Alam mo, dinalihan ko na talaga yung exam, no, ng inyong midterm. Ganun pa, parang same person pa rin, no, kung sino yung, hindi ko siya maikumpara kasi hindi ko pa nga na yung scores niyo. Hindi ko siya tinitigan talaga kung sino yung highest, kung sino yung bagsak. Okay? Hindi ako tingnan. Okay. So, ayun. So, balik tayo. Punta na tayo sa itemized deductions. Ayan. Or we call it regular, allowable, itemized deduction. Bakit meron pang ano? Bakit meron pa sinasabing allowable deductions? Hindi ba allowed? Well, for financial purposes, di ba? Yan, di ba? Oh, wala namang problema. Kung mag-negative kayo or marami kayong expenditures na actual, walang problema. I mean, ayan yung ano yung lumabas no? But when it comes to taxation, okay? So, syempre may limitations. Okay? Pwedeng sa'yo actual and necessary, pero para sa gobyerno ay over ka na. No? Hindi na siya yung parang normal or parang necessary sa business. Wala, medyo sumusobra ka, sabing ganun ng gobyerno, bawas-bawasan mo. Walang problema kung ayaw niya actual expense mo. But then, there are some expenses na merong mga requirements muna aside from those na legit, ordinary, actual, necessary. Merong mga requirements. So, kumbaga may limitations or may threshold. And depende rin sa taxpayer kung ikaw ay individual or corporation. Okay? Regular allowable itemized deductions. Okay? So, sa financial state, kumbaga sa ITR, may portion doon na ito yung mga pwede mong maging expenses. No? So, when we say ito yung mga normal na mga expenses na meron konting requirements. For example, yung iba naman, walang problema. Transportation expenses, sige, salaries expenses, walang problema. No? Ano lang ang requirements mo pag may salary expenses ka? Kasi although wala dito sa listahan ko. For example, salary expense, meron kang talagang tao. No? Hindi ghost employees, no? And then, kung yung sweldo ng tao ay above minimum, okay? So, let's check kung subject sa withholding tax yung mga sweldo ng mga tao. Okay? So, by the way, kailan ba yung effectivity nun? Parang last week lang, no? Nag-increase na ng 35 pesos yata o 40 pesos. I'm not sure on the basic minimum wage, no? Kaso sa NCR, hindi sa atin sa Laguna. Ayan. So, nasa 600 plus na yata, 640. I don't know kung magkano. O 635. Yung basic minimum wage ng mga nasa NCR. Okay? So, yun yung, kumbaga, ang requirements lang naman, kung alambawa, saan marami salaries expense, ma'am? Siyempre, sa mga manufacturing company, no? And then sa mga oriented na business or enterprise, no? So, sila talaga yung kikilo, sila yung pinaka-main sources, no? Para makapag-transaction, okay? So, yun. Ano problema? Okay? So, eto lang yung mga certain expenses, no? Although, hindi naman lahat ng company may ganitong expenses. Okay? So, if the company ay meron mga ganitong expenses, so, syempre, meron babantayan na limitations or threshold. Okay? So, interest expense, taxes, losses, bad debts, depreciations, charitable and other contributions to pensions and trusts, research and development costs, and other ordinary and necessary trade or professional expenses. So, tingin lang natin sa word ng mga some list of the expenses, no? May mga reason yan. Bakit siya may limitations? Okay? Or merong mga sources na, ay, dapat ganito. Or mga requirements, so, bago siya ma-deduct. Okay? Or mag-claim as expenses. For example, okay, interest. O dapat, paano ka magkakaroon ng interest expense? So, dapat ang utang. May pagkakautang or may valid indebtedness. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng, di ba sa financial statement, no? O, wala kang, o sa cash flow mo, wala kang lumabas doon na mga loans. Pero bigla kang may lalabas na interest expense. Di ba? So, saan galing interest expense mo kung wala kang utang? Okay, there must be a valid indebtedness. Oh, the term is valid indebtedness, no? And okay, the indebtedness must be that of the taxpayer and must be connected with the taxpayer's trade, business, or exercise of professions. So, ingat dito, ha? Oh, kahit sabihin mo individual taxpayer ka at nangutang ka, pero kung pang personal mong utang yan, hindi pwedeng i-claim yung interest, no? So, dapat nangutang ka tapos yung proceeds of loan, ginamit mo sa operation sa business. So, that's a valid na loan, no? So, pwede mo i-claim yung interest expense. Okay? Okay, so the interest must have been paid or incurred during the taxable year. So, alam naman natin, di ba? Sa inyong intact nga, nagko-compute kayo na interest expense. Okay, whether simple interest expense yan or simple or ano ba yung mga klase ng pag-compute ng interest, di ba? So, either paid or not yet paid, okay lang. Okay? So, yung loan or yung ano ng details for the interest must have been stipulated in writing. So, meron kang, for example, may loan sa contract. So, meron doon specific na interest rate or specific rate, no? Specific na interest for that type of loan. Okay? So, then it should be in writing. Okay? Interest must be legally due. Interest payments must not be between related parties. O, ayun. Ano may mga usual na related parties? Lalo na sa corporations, no? So, yung mga shareholders, di ba? Yung mga key related personnel, so they are the related parties or even yung mga sister company, di ba? For example, or kaya mga minority, kumbaga merong direct influence, no, doon sa company. Okay? Interest must not be incurred to finance petroleum operations. In case of interest incurred in the acquisition of property used in trade or business, the same is not treated as a capital expenditure. Okay? So, for example, okay, nag-loan. Di ba yung mga I don't know kung sa intact or na yan, di ba? Yung i-capitalize yung interest, di ba? Sa PPE, di ba? So that is so kung kinapitalize mo yon, so you are no longer use that as or claim that as an expenses. Okay? So para magiging part na siya ng additional cost ng property. O di through depreciation mo na lang siya mababawi. Okay? The is not expressly disallowed by law to be deducted from gross income of the taxpayer. Ang daming requirements, di ba? Sabi ko nga, pag sa taxation, pag magta-tax, pag magpapalaki ng taxable income, walang masyadong requirements. Pero pag magre-reduce ng net taxable income sa katutak na requirements, no? Na dapat mong sundin muna. So that is, ito ay, ano lang muna to, mga, kumbaga, injuries, no? Ito dapat present. Okay? So, let's assume present yan dun sa kumbaga naman yung loan and then ano naman, no? Legal naman yung interest, no? Na incurred or paid. Okay? So, what next, ma'am? Ayan. So, after nung maraming yon, ma'am, hindi pa pala tapos doon, okay? So, meron tayong numerical dito, ma'am. But may figures dyan, ma'am. Okay? So, a taxpayer incurred, for example, no? So, a taxpayer incurred, no? May mga interest, no? Amounting to 100,000. Okay? Nag-loan ka. So, nagbayad ka ng 100,000 na interest. Okay? And at the same time, meron ka ring savings, no? May savings ka sa bangko at yun ay nag-earn ng 10,000. So, yung sinasabi dito, earned interest income during the year, it should be an interest income subject to finance. Okay? Yung hindi lang basta sa interest income na o baka interest income lang yan sa lending operation. So, dapat that sinasabi ditong interest income should be earned no? And subject to final income tax. Bakit, ma'am? Okay. So sabi dito, no, yung rationale, the limit is intended to recover the tax savings of taxpayers who take advantage of higher regular tax savings related from the interest expense deduction and a lower final tax on deposit interest income. So for example, may pera ka, okay? Di ba? Pag sinave mo yun sa bangko, it will earn an interest and masasubject lang siya. Income yun, di ba? Masasubject lang siya sa 20% final tax. Okay? Pag nangutang ka naman, di ba? Yung deductible expenses mo naman. Ano ang privilege doon? So, makakapag-deduct ka ng interest expense at the rate ng 25%. For example, in general, di ba, 25%. So, parang, ay, umingkam ka dito, subject sa 20%. Ay, dito, subject sa 25%. Okay? So, hindi pinayagan ng ganun ni government. Kasi, syempre, maraming funds. Okay? So, anong gagawin niya? Mangungutang na mangungutang. I-invest. Di ba? May mga ganun na technique, di ba? Parang, kasi maglo-loan tayo dito, maliit lang ang interest, tapos i-invest natin. Then, mag-earn ng income, subject lang sa 20%. Tapos, itong loan ko, di ba? 20, tapos 25% pa yung coverage, di ba? So, yun yung ginawa ng para. Actually, matagal na to, no? Itong deductibility na to. Nag-iiba-iba lang because of the rate. Okay? So, the gross interest expense is 100,000. The arbitrage limit is 20% of your interest income. Okay? So, ibabawas mo. Kumbaga, ang basis, ma'am, although, di ba? Ano lalabas dito, ma'am? So, yung actual expense mo, 100,000. Okay? Pero hindi yan pwede, pero hindi yan na i-claim mo. Lower than that, no? If you have an interest income, 20% of that, yun yung ibabawas mo in interest expense. Yun yung tinatawag na arbitrage limit. Okay? So, yeah. So the actual expense is 100,000, but the deductible amount is 2,000. It's only 98,000. Okay? Sa FS mo, ipapakita mo 100,000 talaga. Okay? Sa ITR, I think, may reconciliation doon, no? Sa portion ng income tax return, may reconciliation yon, no? Na ito yung mga actual expense mo, tapos ito yung kinlay mo lang. Okay? So, yun. So, it is both for individual and corporation. Itong rate na to. No? Ayan. Another one. O, ma'am, paano kung 20,000 yung ina-earn kong interest? O, di, yun yung basis mo ng 2%. So, 9,000 lang ang makiklaim mong interest expense. Okay? Ganyan lang naman. Eh, paano kung wala akong interest income? Hindi wala ka ibabawas. The entire amount of 100,000 is deductible. Pero, ingat doon, no? Pag wala ikaw na pag hindi mo tines yung limit mo. No? Bakit, ma'am? For example, di ba nga, yung interest income from bank is final na yan, subject na sa final tax. Okay? Eh, nakalimutan mo, inilagay mo pala sa financial income. Okay? Doon mo nilagay yung mga interest income mo from banks, no? So, sa financial income. Hindi mo na siya na-consider sa pag-compute ng income tax. O, di, overclaim ka ng expenses. Okay? So, yan. So, ganun lang naman, no? Yung computation. Okay? So, pag ganyan, ma'am, let's assume in the statement of the problem, let's assume yung mga requirements dito, ito, let's say, ito ay na-consider naman. Okay? Kung sa problem, hindi na kailangan na hindi na in-indicate, no? Yung mga ganitong scenarios. Basta let's say in the problem, let's say the 10 requirements present. Okay? And then, pupunta ng interest expense or deductible interest expense. Okay? So, the actual expense 100,000, but the deductions, no, on your gross income is 96,000 only. Okay? Hindi siya unfair, no? Inaano lang na para hindi lumamang, no? Yung mga maraming mga resources. Kasi possible, gagawin nila yan, di ba? Hmm. Di ba? Kung kumbaga, so ano naman, tawag dito, yan yung mga ibang paraan para hindi, para ma-cover ni government yung mga, etong mga deductions na to. Okay? Ayan, taxes. O, tax na binayaran, whether local or national. Okay? So, taxes paid or incurred within the taxable year in connection with the taxpayer's trade, business, or exercise of profession shall be allowed as deduction. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng klase ng taxes, whether binayaran mo siya sa BIR, government, or sa LGU, deductible, except, ito yung may exception. Final tax, capital gains tax, and revenue tax. Okay? Pero yung kinumpute nating fringe benefit tax, it is deductible. No? Yung fringe benefit tax. Yung final income tax, capital gains, regular income tax are not deductible. Okay? Foreign income tax if claimed as tax credit. Okay. Sino lang ang magkakaroon ng foreign income tax? Sa corporation, domestic corporation. Sa individual, resident citizen. So, ibig sabihin, okay, di ba yung dalawang yon, DC tsaka RC, are both taxable within and without the Philippines. Possible na yung mga without the Philippines na, yung outside the Philippines, no? Halimbawa, nagkaroon sila ng income sa ibang bansa. So, possible na doon sa bansa na yon, nagbayad na siya ng tax. Okay? Ikino-consolidate lang natin dito pagdating sa Philippine taxation, income taxation. Okay? And then, magiging double taxation, no? Siyempre, alam mo, sa ibang bansa, nagkaroon ka ng income. Then, dun sa bansa na yon, meron ka ring tax na binayaran. Okay. Magiging treatment mo dun sa tax na binayaran mo abroad. So, may option ka. Dalawa yung option. Dalawa yung pagpipilian na isa, eto, pwede mo siya i-claim as deductions in your gross income. Okay? Kung isang line, idadagdag mo siya sa line item ng taxes. Or, claim as tax credit. So, ibig sabihin, after computing your tax due, pwede mo ibawas yung binayad mo sa abroad. Pero subject pa rin sa limitations. Okay? Estates and donors tax are not so deductible. Special assessment. Ano yung special assessment? So, sa tax remedy natin, madalas to. Okay? So, for example, may violation ka. Okay? Na-assess ka. May fraudulent cases. Okay? Siyempre, pag mga ganon, may mga penalties. Okay? So, those penalties, although part siya ng mga taxes na binayaran, for example, mayroon kang binayaran tax plus interest plus surcharge plus compromise, no? Mga penalties. So, those are not deductible. Other non-deductible expenses are VAT. Ayan. Hindi to klase ng pambawas ng tax. So, it is different, no? From the income tax, yung business taxes. Ayan. Pero yung mga requirements, ma'am. Ano ba? Ayan. So, example of deductible taxes. So, if you are engaged in business, probably pwede ka magbayad ng percentage tax, excise tax, dock stamp, occupational tax, and license tax. Dito, almost, no? If you look at this, etong mga to ay related or necessary in the conduct of business. Lahat yan. Okay? Siyempre, may business permit ka, di ba? Hindi ka man pwedeng mag-operate ng walang permit, no? Illegal ka. Okay? So, kung kahit illegal yung business mo, subject pa rin sa taxation yung income mo, no? Ayan. Community tax or cedula, di ba? Municipal tax, okay? And then foreign income tax credit if not claimed as tax credit. Okay? It must be paid, incurred within the taxable year. It must be in connection with the taxpayer's profession, and tax must be imposed directly upon the taxpayer. O, yun lang naman. No? Ano pa, ma'am? Ang dami naman yung yun. Kung sinasabi yung yun lang, parang ang dami. No? Ayan. Ito ang kailangan nating ma-achieve, no? Ngayong sa Wednesday, no? Yung foreign tax credit. Okay? Itong approach na to, deductible, ito ay tax credit. Okay? So, foreign income tax credit can be claimed as deductions or income tax credit. So, dito mo tayo sa deductions since we're talking about the deductions, no? So, ito, for example, meron siyang, let's say the domestic, ano pa kaya to? Let's say the entity is a domestic corporation. So, domestic corporation is subject within and without the Philippines, di ba? So, may income siya sa Pilipinas, may income siya sa Japan. Okay? So, let's say, computed na yung taxable income. Okay? Siyempre, i-consolidate mo yan. Sabi ko nga, di ba, last time, nung natatandaan nyo, but when it comes to computation of net income sa corporation, ng domestic corporation, dapat individual mo siya kung, yung sa country, per country, para mas mapapadali ka ng analyze. For example, ito, may amount ka na ng taxable income sa Philippines, meron ka ng taxable income. Then, i-consolidate mo. So, ganun tayo sa 3 million. Okay? Anong gagawin ko, ma'am, sa 3 million? Ayan. So, ito yung taxable income. Okay? So, ito na. Let's say, this amount is already net of itemized deductions. Okay? Tapos, ma'am, after that, may binayaran ako palang 300,000 sa Japan para sa income ko dito. Okay? Hindi ko sinasabi ito yung ito yung for example, iba yung taxation sa Japan, no? Ito yung actual payment mo. Anong ginawa mo sa actual payment mo? Pinambawas mo pa ulit. Okay? So, our net taxable income worth 2.7 times 25%. Okay? Tapos, ito, advance payment mo to. Okay? Hindi siya deductible against net income. Okay? So, yan. Ito lang yung kinredit natin, 200,000. Okay. Give me para dito sa tax credit approach, no? Para sa Wednesday ay sunod na topic ay losses na yung tayo sa atin, no? Hindi tayo lugi, ha? I mean, ano pa to, yung time natin hanggang sa isang, matawag sabi ko doon, yung special class natin, no? Okay. So, ito yung naman, ma'am. So, dito sa tax credit, so you see, yung 3 million, dito nagbawas tayo 300,000 na actual payment sa Japan, di ba? So, ito hindi. Nag-compute na tayo agad ng tax due. Okay? However, tapos binawas na natin to. Okay? Kaya lang, itong 300,000, di ba? Ito yung ginasabi natin tax credit. Okay? Ibawas mo yung binayaran mo sa Japan, ipambabawas mo sa tax due sa Philippines. Kung hindi mo siya ginamit as expenses. Okay? Ngayon, yung 300,000 pinambawas natin, di ba? Pero hindi absolute. Hindi siya agad-agad na i-claim mo. Meron pa rin tayong test. Meron tayong limitation. Okay? So, alam mo naman, pag binabawasan yung pambayad sa gobyerno, kailangan may requirements or whichever is lower. Ayan. Kapag income, pataas, whichever is higher. Diba? Para i-increase ng tax base, madalas, whichever is higher. Kapag magbabawas tax due, madalas, whichever is lower. So, paano mo malalaman kung lower or higher? So, this is the actual payment, 300,000. So, familiar naman kayo sa prorata, di ba? Okay? So, ito ma'am, your foreign taxable income, which is 1.8 over your word taxable, kumbaga, out of the 3 million, ilan ang porsyento ng income mo sa abroad? Di ba? Let's say, 1.8 divided by 3 million, almost 60%, no? O 60%. So, ibig sabihin, 60%, no? Times tax due. And then, lumabas 450. So, you will compare. So, ibig sabihin, hanggang dito yung pwede mo i-claim. So, you will compare the 300,000. Ito yun ha, dito yun ha, yung income tax paid na versus 450, whichever is So, yun yung gagamitin mo pambawas. Diba? So, for example, computed mo is 750, ma'am. O yan. So, ginamit mo siya as tax credit. So, bayaran mo nilang is 250. Pero kung ginamit mo siya as a deduction to your gross income, you still have an income tax payable of 475. O, ganun lang, di ba? O, dito na tayo. Gamitin natin ito as tax credit approach. Okay? Pero madalas naman talaga ito gamit, no? Tax credit approach. Although wala pa akong na-compute, no? In my entire life, no? Although my clients are all resident citizen and all are domestic corporations. Pang MSME lang tayo no? So wala pa ako na-encounter ng mga taxpayers na clients namin na merong income or may di-declare na income abroad. Okay? So yun. Unless siguro may bago sa mga purely OFW hindi sila record mag-file ng income tax. Sa mga OFW na walang business sa Pilipinas, yun yung bagong labas sa AOPT. So yan. So that's how you use the tax credits or the foreign tax payments. No? Sabihin, ito yung mga tax na binayaran mo. Parang kumaga income tax. No? Income tax sa Pilipinas, income tax sa abroad. So pagdating mo dito, ano ang gamit mo sa income tax abroad? Pwedeng deduction or tax credit approach. Okay? So yun. So ganun siya i-gamitin. Okay? Naiintindihan? A72, kayang-kaya pa? Sa July 18, ha? Walang magkakasakit, ha? Utang na loob. Ha? Bawal umabsent sa July 18. Oh. Matulog ng maaga kung yun na maraming vitamins, no? Yun lang naman no? Tsaka syempre review. Ayan. So, yun lang muna. See you on Wednesday. Mamimit na rin yung test paper ninyo. Ayan. Masyado akong madaming test paper na bibit-bit sa Wednesday. So, yun lang. Then, sa Wednesday nga, let's talk about kung ano yung exact day ng natin or end time ng ating makeup class. Okay? So, that's it muna. A72. So, yun. Thank you and have a nice day sa inyo lahat.